Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, we are live. I'm alive. I'm alive. Oh my God.
How are you feeling, my dear?
Oh, I feel like breathing in. Let's breathe in.
Yes.
Let's breathe in together and hold it for a few seconds. And then breathe out. Are you going to burn something? Fuck yeah, you're going to burn something. Burn.
Burn, baby, burn.
Disco Inferno. Oh, what's going on out there? What are these two witches doing? So I just want to check in with my heart because so far my favorite my favorite episode of ours is our heart episode.
That was our favorite. Turn down your
Yes.
phone.
I'm gonna pull in some geranium just to anchor this session in with a little bit of heart medicine.
Ooh, I love that. I have geranium as well. Let's do that. Let's go ahead.
Oh, breathe in that geranium. Geranium.
A little bit of geranium. You look lovely, too,
Oh,
by the way, darling. You look
you
absolutely
do
gorgeous.
too. Ow! It's so fun to be a girl. I love it.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
I forget, and I just just wear the same pants every day and the same shirt, and this makes me like, oh, I get to wear the right chakra color. What do I have in that color?
That's in my closet.
I wore this to my baby shower, because it grows, and now that I know that I'm calling in the third chakra, it's so beautiful to be able to be here with you in these outfits, being all witchy, talking
It's
about the
amazing to be
chakras.
here with you as well, babe. We are almost done with this, and it's kind of bittersweet, but it feels really good. It feels really, really good that we're getting to the end of this beautiful journey with you. Just sharing
Yeah.
information and sharing just magic with
Oh,
everybody out there.
it is. It's magic
Yeah.
between you and me, and hopefully we inspire somebody out there. But honestly, just the dropping in with you and our special guest tonight is it's literally the magic that I've created that is my life. And I'm so fucking grateful. The gratitude is overflowing right out of my third eye.
Yes, very happy for my witches. So
Oh,
we are going to be talking about the third eye today. Some people like to refer to it as the forehead chakra, the third eye chakra. The Anya is the proper
Anya.
name for it. The Anya chakra, and it's basically it basically means to perceive or to command. So it is the seat of our command center. This is
The
what we
seat
do.
or the seed? It's the seat
The
or the
seat.
seed? The seat of our command center. So this is like where our we go on the higher self. I feel like this to me is my connection to my higher self. Is
Absolutely,
that
it is everyone's connection to their higher self. This is
mm,
where our intuitive gifts are coming from. So if anybody is meant to say, let's say someone is a seer, it's someone who is very, very in tune with their third eye, or as I like to call it, the first eye.
yeah. Number one. Number one.
Yes. So
Okay, so
this this
we get
this
super excited.
beautiful chakra.
I have
I'm
to pause
sorry.
this for a second. I have to pause this, Yvette. I have to pause this
Yeah.
because I'm getting excited and we're getting started talking about the third eye and we haven't even introduced ourselves.
I know. We always forget to introduce ourselves,
Are
and
we?
you always remember to introduce us. So thank
I
you.
mean, we have to. We have to because like who are these ladies talking and why am I going to listen to these gals? And I
Exactly.
and I am listening to you because intuitively our third eyes drop in and we make this amazing connection. And
Yes.
you are known as the Feng Shui Master Witch. And you've been in my home and you've feng shuied me out. And you've literally just your presence in my home was like feng shui. I'm like, oh, okay. That was like a cleansing tool, my friend Yvette, that I brought into my home to look things over and get a vibration of my family and I. You took in
Yeah.
our birth dates and You took into consideration so many things, and that just showed me what kind of person you are and the attention to detail that you have. And I was like, I want to partner with this girl.
Thank you, babe. Thank you.
I am so grateful.
I'm
And
so
that you said
grateful.
yes to drop in with me on this little essential chakra show.
Oh,
Has
chakra,
been
essential oils
so
adventure.
fun. Yes.
It's been so fun so far. It's been super amazing. I am learning as I am teaching and sharing, and I'm sure you are as well. Just kind of going over everything that you've already known and you've already um, taken in. It's just kind of like digging in deep into your archives and bringing it on. Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember this. That's right. I remember that.
Absolutely.
So it's been a
That is
learning journey for me as well.
I think that that's what it's all about. Is it's about. First, let me introduce myself. I want to get back to truth and wisdom, like, like just knowing from our core, from our third eye. But I'm Jennifer Biondo.
Oh!
Gangsta Fairy, Smells Incorporated. I got lots of names. But I'm the girl that likes to literally anything you talk about. I'm like, there's an oil for that. There's an oil for that. Wait, let's use an oil for that. Because I think that we're talking about making a lot of magic and we have a lot of amazing ideas. And I really want to anchor them in with a smell. Like I really want to help us all in anchoring on what we're learning. Because like you said, we've already learned all this stuff, most of us, if not in this lifetime, in other lifetimes. And we've learned this. And so when we speak it, when we speak from our hearts, we're speaking our truth. And I know with me for essential oils, it's literally how I found my medicine, and it's totally empowered me. And now I want to take what I've learned and share it out there and let it ripple and expand so that other people are using oils, so that when I'm actually down, I can maybe read something somebody says, or maybe one of my friends calls me up and tells me, hey, I just used this oil for this. And then it will remind me, wait, I forgot to use my frankincense, and then I'll check in with that.
Yes.
So
thank you for the reminder.
I'm the oils lady. I'm also a mom. I am certified hypnotherapist, and I am one of the thought leaders of the modern witch movement, and I am so grateful to be here.
That is right.
Now, please go ahead. Tell us all about the third eye.
The first eye, the third eye, it relates to meditation, to dreams, which is why we're having our lovely guest tonight. Like, who better than to talk to us about dreams and intuition?
Raquel.
It relates to your psychic or our psychic development, clarity, awareness. It deepens our intuition, spiritual insight, visions. It creates a calm mind as well. It creates good memory and awakened imagination. So for those of you who are out there and get in front of a canvas and just can't paint for crap, tap into that third eye. Do the third eye exercises that we're going to be talking about in a little bit, and associate yourself with the oils that we will talk about as well. And that is definitely going to be working on a cellular level, because nothing gets closer to any chakra than your nose, and it's right above that center. So if any other chakra reacts to essential oils and aromatherapy, it's the third eye chakra. It's a very powerful one.
I'm so excited. I got to get my ding-a-ling. Hold on, check it out. I found another one of my grandma's bells. This one's a little bit bigger and more annoying to my husband when he's trying to go to sleep. But
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. So I'm so excited that you said that, because when you said that, I visualized when the smell goes through my nose, it literally has to pass through my third eye, go into my limbic system, where it like will trigger all my memories and bring them to the surface for me to like observe them and have awareness around them and be able to clear them out if I'm tapped in.
Absolutely.
Thank you for inspiring that.
Yes. So do you have your cheat sheet that we're going to be working from today?
I'm so glad you brought up the cheat sheets. I love when you bring up my cheat sheet. So I really love to talk about this, because we, as you've already noticed, we can go off on an amazing tangent and journey and exploration of these chakras. But some people don't know what a chakra is, and that's totally fine and understandable. We're super stoked that you found our page and you're interested enough to listen to what a chakra is. So I have this sheet. It's like it's like bullet points. I like to say like chakras for dummies, but if this is your first time learning, I don't want to call you a dummy, so I don't like to say that anymore. Delete. Oh wait, my friend is calling. Sorry, girl. I got a show to be on. Okay, so we have this chart here, and it says understanding your chakras. So chakras are the energy centers. Chakras are the energy centers in your body through which energy flows. And we are all made up of energy, which if you don't know that by now, please start adopting the idea and thinking about it. And so these energy centers are directly linked to mental, physical, and spiritual attributes. Okay, so that's serious stuff. I mean, I think that's what we're all dealing with as a collective right now, is we're dealing with mental, physical, and spiritual imbalance.
Yes.
Imbalance. Energy stagnant. We must turn the energy flow on and let the energy flow freely through all the different chakras. By understanding what each chakra represents and what you can do to keep this energy flowing freely, you can achieve an optimal quality of life for yourself and for those around you. I mean, that's the thing. I live with people, and if you're not dealing with your own shit, then you're going to literally give your shit to other people. And
That's
hopefully you love the people that you're just choosing to spend your time with, so you can be like, yo, this energy is like out of balance. I need to go balance my chakras so we don't fall in a ditch.
That's right.
So I've been so stoked because I've been working on this third eye chakra. Usually I'm like, and I realized because I waited till the day before, and I was like, I know Yvette has been working on this shit for like a week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. You've been working on it for 2 weeks, and last night I'm like, okay, I'm gonna like download whatever YouTube meditation tells me my third eye is gonna open up.
Yes.
And I listened to that shit, and I was like, and I'm also gonna get more tomorrow because you do the work beforehand, you teach it to me, and then I do the work after. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
So then I'm gonna go into the third eye chakra on this sheet, which is the oil of, the purpose of this is for your intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions.
That's right.
And Yvette brought up memory, and I was like, oh, my third eye's definitely got some problems because my memory is like just super wackadoodle. I need to get that shit checked. I need maybe vetiver. I'm gonna put that out to remind myself to get in tune there. Okay, so it is the middle of the forehead, the third eye. You guys ever go to like those fun parties where we're all gonna like dance and get crazy, and somebody starts with their third eye and then they get all sweaty and it's like just looks like a shiny mole? Anyway. You're like, girl, you out of balance. Take my third eye.
You're out of balance.
Find it on YouTube.
Yeah, and I love that you mentioned the correct place. I know a lot of people do think that the third eye is located right between the eyebrows, but this is not necessarily incorrect. There's two sectors to the third eye. So we're looking into, there's a third eye, and then there's a third eye chakra, and then there's a forehead chakra, and they're one and the same.
Right. Yeah, that was confusing. I'm so excited that you're talking about this. Yes.
They are one and the same, but the third eye is located on the forehead, like right above, in between, but right slightly above.
I feel like I can feel it, honestly. I really feel like intuitively you'll know where it is.
Or a little dent right there. You should feel it.
Mine feels like a dent. Mine's a little
exactly.
Totally
That's exactly where your third eye is.
Yeah.
So if you
I know exactly.
It tingle if you like rub on it and then you stop rubbing on it, it tingles for a few seconds afterwards.
Oh, that's fun. I'll do that right now. Yeah, fuck you guys. I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Oh, please get to my intuition. I am very angry.
So it is here that our inner and outer visual command centers begin to activate. So this is where we begin to move into the higher realms of the intellect and spirituality. Is no longer a third dimensional chakra or more of a physical chakra. It's more of an ethereal chakra. So there is no element associated with it. It is the element of light, I would say, if anything. So light activates this third eye chakra as well. And light, visualizing light in your third eye is amazing. It's something that we do a lot in Kundalini yoga, and because it's the Kundalini yoga is the yoga of awareness, and it's meant to bring awareness. And our third eye is called the master chakra because it's really the one that commands all of the other chakras.
Ooh.
So yeah. Even though the root chakra happens to be very important because obviously we need the foundation, I believe the third eye chakra is the master chakra. This is where our spirit is sitting, and this is where we make decisions from. So if our intellect is saying yes to something, then our intuition is the one to say no, and vice versa. So this is where the duality happens. You were just talking about that in the cheat sheet. For any of you who are interested in wondering what the hell that means, or what does that really, how does that manifest into our everyday life? So you'll have your intellect, your mind, because we're like so intellectual right now. A lot of people do have their third eye chakra slightly underactivated, but we grew up in a society where we're meant to be super intellectual. It's like, what does your intellect say? That's how we're meant to find answers instead of tapping into our intuition. And when children were born seeing with their third eye, and they were able to see multi dimensions. And then little by little, we start to teach them how to see with their actual visual eyes. And to see with your third eye, we just have to reverse the process. We just have to start seeing with our third eye instead of our actual eyes. And our actual eyes want to
wait, time's out. I just want to make sure I heard that clear. So we have to reverse the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we need to our intention is to learn how to go back to the stage where we learn to see with our third eye and check in with our intuition. And you said that our spirit is just like waiting there for us to ask and to I like, one of the things I do in Kundalini yoga is you'll like do almost like a cross eye, like you do that, but you go up and in, right? But with your eyes closed, you go up and in, and it literally like it pains, like you can feel it, like the muscles aren't used to going that direction, so you'll feel like a strain in your eye. But that strain to me feels like an activation to like pop it open. And I see that light that you're talking about. And what's cool is that that light sends right through my third eye, and then it opens up my solar plexus, because it's like that connection with the sun. So you're just like inspiring so much from what
I'll give you an example for those of you who are just kind of wondering what the hell it means to reverse the process. So let's say you're sitting in a room and the lights happen to turn themselves off, and no one's touching the lights, but the lights just turned off and then they turn themselves back on. We are trained to use our intellect and mind. And so once our intellect and mind is trained, then we go into answering those questions through the intellect mind. So why did the light turn off? Oh, maybe it's about to go out. Maybe it's just bad. Maybe it's just an old light bulb, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of the rational, intellectual answers that we can possibly give. Now, our intuitive mind would say, maybe that's the message from spirit. What were you thinking when that flickering of the light happened? What was on your mind? What was going through your bodies and your senses when that instant happened? And who are you trying to connect with? Have you been trying to call on someone? Did you see a particular phrase when that happened? Were you seeing something on TV or listening to something on the radio? Those are all messages, and and they're gonna constantly keep coming. Lucky for us, our intuition never gives up. So it's always going to be throwing little signs here and there. So if you ignore it here, it's going to bring it there, or it's going to throw it in different directions, in different shapes, and in different ways. And that's how we tap into our intuitive mind, into our third eye. When we stop thinking about the rational answers of what something could be, and we tap into the intuitive side. It's like, what does my intuition tell me? Why do I automatically have to think that it just has to be an electrical problem, or that it's just a light a bad light bulb.
Well,
Why can't
and
it be
all of those
something more
things can
spiritual?
very
Why
well
can't
be
it be
true.
something
Yeah,
deeper?
exactly. Yeah, totally. And all of those things, all the logical thinking things can also be true. They can coexist together.
Absolutely.
Your light could actually be burning out, but it chose to burn out in that exact second that you walked in the room. So like, what
Exactly.
is it trying to tell you? I think that it's just a matter of asking that question and then going within and checking with that third eye, maybe doing a body scan wherever anything is out of alignment as well.
Ask your
And go
intuition.
deeper.
Check
I think
in
the
with
third
your
eye is where you can
intuition.
see. Yeah, it feels like where the third eye feels like where we can see what is actually out of balance. It can actually really help us get in touch with those other chakras that are so also very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's pretty much what it is, and that's exactly what I mean by reversing the process of it, because we were all born seeing through our third eye. We just have to work at it now, because now we're older. Now we're conditioned to no longer use our third eye. But that really just depends on you. I mean, some people don't want to have the intuitive gift, and some people don't want to hear things, and some people don't want to see things that are probably going to like scare
Yeah,
them.
I've heard some warnings. When I was going looking for some meditations last night, there were some warnings. Like some people in the comments are like, watch out. If you haven't balanced your other chakras, you maybe don't want to open up this chakra, or careful what you
Exactly.
wish for. Sometimes people, when they completely open up fully to their intuition, it can appear like schizophrenia or
Yes.
different things like that. So,
Different
it's
mental issues,
definitely,
absolutely.
yeah, so it's definitely really important to go slow in the process and
Go slow, and
really,
also remember that there are other chakras underneath this chakra, and like you said, you have to work on balancing and or at least tapping into all your other chakras, because it could be like someone just like whacked you in the face, and then all of a sudden you're just hearing things and seeing things, and not everyone is comfortable with that. So medicine as well, I know that there's plant medicine that can help activate your third eye chakra, and
mhm,
those can be shortcuts. I'm not against them.
right.
They work wonders for many people, but also people need to be very aware of these medicines are meant to really tap in and like burst open your
Yeah.
third eye chakra. And if you're not
Mm.
prepared for it, if you haven't worked on yourself, and if you haven't tapped into all your other talents, your human talents, which is what I like to call the chakras, then you're gonna have a really hard time adjusting to your new reality. You're gonna have a really
Mm.
hard time adjusting to all the things that you're going to see and perceive. That you are going to have some traumatic experience, and not everybody knows how to take it properly. So be careful. Be very careful. The third eye is beautiful, but it's also very powerful. So know that you're working with a powerful chakra here.
Mm. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I mean, but it was really cool to work on it. I think because I've done a lot of work. I think we've done a lot of work, and I feel like it's actually imperative at this time with the tools that I have for me to be more intentional and take the time to be with myself and to open that third chakra and to work on that sixth chakra, really, isn't it? Which is it's so confusing because it's the third eye, but it's the sixth chakra. So it's that
Yeah.
auspicious threes happening there. But yeah, it's really it does feel really good to start tiptoeing in, because I've been one of the kinds that have been afraid to actually like fully commit to opening my third eye. And they say that I don't know if you've heard this, and when I first heard it, I was like, oh, that's crazy. But this was years ago. And now that I've learned more, I think it's possible, but that the fluoride in tap water can calcify your pineal gland and actually make it so it's actually very hard for you to open up your third eye. Um,
Mhm.
and
Very true.
some of the ideas that people have are that with a calcified pineal gland, it's really hard to tap into that intuition, which is why it's very easy to be like brainwashed or swept away by
Diverted, exactly. So
ulterior motives.
if you are trying to control humankind, essentially the one chakra that you want to attack would be the third eye chakra. And I don't want to get too deep into it, but our third eye chakra has been attacked for many years, and things like fluoride in your water, and I've even like to think that too much television can definitely block your third eye, and definitely it is our command center. So because we are no longer in control of our third eye. Other people are
Yeah.
making decisions, and we are being fed information on what to
Yeah.
buy, what to eat, how to behave, who to speak to, who not to speak to, you know, what we should be doing. So it's really like a very, very nonchalant way of controlling, you know, the human body, so to speak.
Well, and we're all doing it. Like, we're doing it right now. We really feel like we have a message that's important to share, and we want to share it. And for me, like, part of it, like my mission and my intention in like having these chakra meetings and trying to teach or like inspire people to check back in with their bodies and what's happening with them emotionally and spiritually and physically is because we are so disconnected. You guys are doing it right now. Anybody who's watching this, it's like we're watching with our two eyes all the time. And if we don't take that time with ourselves in nature, nature is like, you know, I just feel so safe and I feel so held in nature. And when I feel in those places where I feel really safe, it feels okay to open up that third eye. And then I can take that third eye into the two, you know, looking into the phones or the things, and I can tap into my discernment, you know, tap into where I want to commit. And if I'm being triggered by something, what is that? What old story is that that's triggering me? And where can I look within myself to try and heal that thing? Because we need to heal all the darkness in ourselves before we're going to be of service to the world.
I totally agree. I totally agree. You know, before we go out there and we try to tell other people how to work on their chakras and how to balance your chakras, work on your damn self.
Now go on, do it.
It's so true.
Hydrate to that.
I like to call the third eye our psychic hotline.
That's so rad.
Psychic hotline. Right? Whenever you think of it, I'm like, who are you gonna call? My psychic hotline.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good.
I tap into it all the time. But it's hard, like you said. There's things, environment, situations where sometimes it's difficult, and it makes it hard for us to tap into our third eye chakra. So we have tools, we have oils, we have mantras. Yeah.
Let's talk about some more tools on the cheat sheet. Sheet. I like that. Let's do that.
There's tools.
Okay, so we have, it's located on the forehead. We talked about that. The color, though, this is one I really wanted to talk about, is indigo. Like, what's indigo? I don't have any markers that are indigo. My kids' playset.
It's a purplish blue.
Right. So this was my prom dress. It was like it was one of these iridescent purplish blue ones that, like, when you go this way, it looks purple. When you go this way, it looks blue. But I almost never see that color. Nail polish, maybe.
Yeah, nail polish.
And I did a meditation on 444. Was it post quarantine? Yes. And after it already started, 444, I did this meditation like I'd never done before with that Wampa guy that I told you guys about in the last show. And we did this activation with his girlfriend Regan. And I was on the mountain and the sun was just coming right down on me. And I opened up my third eye, and for the first time in a meditation, indigo was just like a psh, 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 psh. And I was like, there it is. And my whole everything, it literally, like, energy centers, it like fired up like a light beam, opening up and balancing all of the other chakras. And I felt like I was floating. I had no worry in the world. I was like, we are taken care of. This is all good. Everything is in divine alignment. This is perfection. It doesn't get any better than what it is. And I want to get there again soon.
Yeah, we all want to be there. Being your third eye and having your third eye activated is a super fucking amazing feeling. Like you said, it just triggers everything in all of your other chakras, and it is the master chakra. It is there's a huge role in your pineal gland, and it's associated with the release of melatonin, and melatonin plays a huge role in dreaming and your sleep and how well you can sleep. So if you are having any form of sleeping problems, definitely your third eye chakra. There's just so many things that your third eye chakra can do for you. Not just psychic ability or intuition or the ability to see interdimensional realms, but also becoming a healer of yourself and becoming a healer of others. So It's an important one.
It's so beautiful. I was just smelling lemongrass because that is one of the oils to help with the third eye. And one of the things that I was realizing was when I smell the oils and I'm thinking about the chakra that I'm putting my focus on and my attention on, and I smell it, I'm like, I feel like I'm chanting, what do you want to tell me? What do you want to tell me? What do you want to tell me? What do I need to know? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting. And then I do feel like that a miniature little version of that light that came through, just slowly like cracking open the imbalance. Really
I love how you say
cool.
the word cracking open, because when you start working on your third eye chakra, there is warnings in some places that you will hear crackling and popping sounds. Yes. So that is associated with tapping in.
I didn't hear
the
that.
third eye chakra.
Okay, whoa, damn. That is, I don't know about that.
I love how you keep saying like it's crackling and it's popping, and that's exactly what it does. And you'll hear it. You will be able to hear it.
Dude, I'm going to put some frankincense on that for some truth. And my oil of truth.
Good one. I love it.
Frankincense is the oil of truth, and when in doubt, use frankincense. It's so freaking delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient wisdom from the truth of the frankincense.
Mm-hmm. I am connected to my higher self.
Oh, that's great. I love it. Okay, so yes, it light. So the element is light, which you talked about.
Yes.
And the sound is, it says A/EEM. Is that AM? Is it AM? How would we do
it? It's also a good one for your third eye chakra.
Oh yeah, because we'll talk about that as that one for the crown as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which I'm sure we're going to get back into in a couple weeks.
Oh, another good sound for your third eye is, it almost sounds like May, like the month of May. So if you say you have to play with it. Play with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with it because I'm having a hard time feeling it in that section.
Eventually, you start to feel where it goes. Another one that I learned from a good friend of mine is th. So you basically put your tongue between your teeth, and you leave it there, and you use the sound th. The trick is to leave your tongue up in the air like that.
I could feel it. I felt it. It's a little bit. I could tell it's a little harder because I have in my earphones, but I could feel it starting to happen. So
the one with the tongue between the teeth doesn't do anything for me yet. I think I just got to practice on it. But the May really works for me. Like I immediately start to feel the tingle. That's the one that works for me. So I'm just glad there's more than one, because th doesn't really work for me, and I have to work on that one just a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel like for some reason intuitively, I was just guided to talk about music. And I think it was obviously we were just singing, so I don't think it was like too much of a revelation, but but like techno music came in. Not techno, but like I don't even know, electronic or like I don't know. I think I guess I associate with some of the vocals that are on some of those kind of songs are really like uplifting and conscious and aware and like enlightening. I think a lot of the words I think in those are, and it's like it feels like you're getting programmed from the music and the download that's coming in. So I feel like that's another thing that feels like it comes through music.
Absolutely. Well, because it's right above our throat chakra, and this is a chakra of sound. They're always affected by each other, and they carry traits from each other. So our third eye is also not only affected by light, but sound does activate it, like the mantras that we're working on right now. It's definitely
so cool. There's so many tools.
There's so many tools.
Oh, sound tools. I mean, that's free. I love that story.
I mean, there's just no excuse to not be working on yourself when there's so many tools, when you're listening to these videos and we're, providing all the information for you. So, always feel free to reach out. You guys know where to find us, themodernwitchwoman.com. We're always available, to answer any questions, get with you guys, and any doubts. Reach out.
Yeah, I love to have conversations like these. I really love them. I actually, what I really would like to start doing is to do a support group, which is where we have conversations like these, like what you're working on and how, how you're working on it, how it feels, like just a place to, like, I mean, we're talking about opening up your third eye and possibly seeing other dimensions. Like, you might want to share this with somebody, So it's like, I do think it's important to be in like-minded group where we're not going to be judgmental or critical, and just like be able to observe like what we're all experiencing, and knowing that none of us are like claiming we know everything and we have all the answers. We're just talking about what's happening inside of us, and hopefully it inspires everybody to start working and not be too scared to work inside themselves, because I think a lot of people are terrified to go within, which is why they fixate so much on what's happening on the outside world.
Yeah. So I think that's what I'm taking, or I'm hoping to take more than anything from all of these beautiful conversations that we're having. I'm hoping that this inspires a lot of people. I'm hoping that this inspires friends that already know us, that have never even, given a thought to their chakras or their energies centers, and are going through some of these symptoms. You just, like I said, we can just tap into ourselves and be our own healers. It's good to have, help from outside sources, but it's also great to know that you can heal your damn self.
Well, that's what I like. That's the thing I liked about going to a doctor, is like, if I feel something uncomfortable, I'll go to a doctor, see what their analysis is, and I check in there with my third eye. Like, nobody knows my body like I know my body. This is my body. So I can either take what they say as like, okay, well, I definitely know that all these boxes are checked. I'm healthy otherwise on any kind of scans. But if I let this go too long, this discomfort, then it can manifest into one of those more scary things that I was going to the doctor worried about in the first place. And these are all wake up calls for me to like check in with my body and be like, what do I need? Do I need to give myself some massage? Do I need to give myself an Epsom salt bath?
Your intuition.
Yeah.
You're tapping into your intuition. It's so important. You're using your intellect and the intellect of the doctor's wisdom, but you're also tapping into your intuition. And I love that. They go hand in hand, and you really shouldn't want to get rid of one and leave the other, because it really serves you no purpose to have one without the other. You really need that duality. You need that, that intellect, and you need that intuition to just kind of balance each other out.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that I love is I think we're really intuitive about our own medicine, which at least for me, I've learned to be really intuitive. And that's why the plants, the oil medicine has been so wonderful, is because instead of going to some like pharmaceutical, the first thing I can do is use my oils, and see, and usually I'll notice that I just get better. I just get better. And it actually treated the actual root of the problem rather than just masking the symptom. And then, and it's beautiful, and I love that. So I always go on a little sidebar about healing the body, but it's actually related.
Tool, because it's such a beautiful tool.
Yeah, it is. I agree. So I'm going to go back into the crystals. I have my amethyst. I know you do.
Mm-hmm.
I have these wonderful babies.
Holy moly!
Look at this one. This one is one of my faves. It's got these like little cool.
Where are those from? Do you know where your crystals from?
It's the only part I know is that it's from a gem show in Costa Mesa.
I love it.
Where might I find an amethyst, my beautiful witch?
So most of my amethysts have been gifts, but I do have some that I've purchased myself as well. So I really love the dark one right here. So these are both South American.
Too.
And they're different. One is Peruvian, the other one's Argentinian.
Oh, those are so
slightly different in color. Look how pretty they are.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but those amethysts just gave me a titty heart on.
I love amethyst. Amethyst followed me before I even knew I wanted that stone.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So then now that we're talking about it, and I don't know where this was before I knew like it's important to do ethical things, and like crystals can also be something that's not ethically sourced. And now, if knowing that that's a thing, we should be more mindful of where we're getting our crystals and how we're getting them and how they're being harvested and not taken from the land. And we want to make sure that they're treating the sacred land sacred and not reaping from the land. This is what we need to get better at, people.
Come on, people. If you are going to buy your crystals online, make sure it's from a reputable source. Make sure you know who they are. Start digging deep. Don't just believe what their website is saying that they're doing. Actually do the work, do the research, tap into your intuition. Does it feel like they're doing it, with intention from the heart, that they're actually really wanting to, put these beautiful crystals in someone's home to help them, or are just really just trying to make money? You have to tap into that intuition.
Yeah.
Psychic hotline.
Oh.
And there's so many ways that we can connect to our psychic abilities. It can be through vision, it could be through hearing, through knowing, through feeling. And these senses are like little muscles, and we have to exercise them all the time so that we can get really strong and we can get super powerful. I mean, we all want to be powerful, and our intuition is a super powerful tool. If you can tap into your intuition when you're dealing with a loved one, when you're dealing with someone who you don't know and you don't know where they're coming from or what they've been through, like we could do so much more if we just tap into our intuition. We can find so many answers, and we can. A lot of times we ignore it. A lot of times we do ignore our intuition, and I encourage you to just listen to it. Listen to that little voice inside of you that sometimes just sounds like it's just a crazy voice, and tap into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's so important. I love it.
I'm
going to go into the next part here. We have also blue quartz. Anybody blue quartz out there? We have like CHAROITE.
Chrysocolla?
Oh, I would have never got.
What is it?
CHAROITE. I don't know. Now you all know how to spell it if you want to look it up. And then there's lapis or blue fluorite, solidite.
Which is what I'm wearing.
Oh, is that blue? Oh, it's so gorgeous.
It's lapis. It's like this beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love it. This is my lapis. I've shared it before. Isn't it like the world? It's like the world, right?
That one is so good.
It's my favorite. It's so good.
I love it.
Oh,
it's
so good. Okay, so then we're going to get back to the essential oils that we would use for this chakra. Is clary sage. Here we go, clary sage.
So why clary sage?
It is the oil of vision and clarity.
Ooh.
So it also is really helpful for helping to balance hormones. And you wouldn't want to use clary sage if you were in your first trimester of pregnancy.
Oh wow, okay.
But you would want to use it if you're like getting to your last week where you're supposed to deliver that baby, and you're like, get out of me. Then you'll want to use it then you'll want to use it right here on your ankle. Ton. Okay. So I wish I had known that when I was trying to get my baby out of me. But yeah, so this is the oil of vision and clarity. I worked with this oil for a couple years when I first started with the oils, and it was really great because I had just had my son, and it was really helpful to rebalance my hormones after all the hormones that I produced and making a boy. Like I even smelled different when I had a boy in my body. Okay, that got weird. Sorry. But
what did you smell like? Tacos and chili?
I did. Everybody knows by now that I smelled like chili dogs with onions.
Chicken nuggets.
It was so bad. I had to use the tea tree oil and baking soda under my armpits, and it was the only thing that made it so I wouldn't smell horrific. I mean, I smelled horrific. So it was the only thing that helped, and at the same time it was helping with the energetic boundaries. So it was a win-win.
Hey.
So vision and clarity on that. And then the other one is lemongrass, and I talked about the lemongrass already. a little bit. But lemongrass is the oil of cleansing. So I think we've talked about this, is how like this pineal gland is like all junked up. It's all junked up. This is why we gotta get a pop crackle to get that thing open.
Right.
And so with the lemongrass, it's going to help cleanse that area, and it's going to help cleanse, because even if you're stuffed up in all of these areas and you have a buildup of mucus, allergies and things like that are also going to be something that can deter you from opening up your third eye. So you really want to kind of like work on clearing out those allergies. Oils can help you with that. Lemon, lavender, and peppermints. The allergy shot is incredible for clearing up the allergies. And then the lemongrass is incredible also for the thyroid, which is interesting because you're having the third eye and the thyroid. And like you were saying, these guys are like super closely related, obviously, just in dimensions. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love lemongrass.
Me too. Ooh, but let me tell you a scary story. So I take a bath, and I hear it's good for the thyroid. I got a little hypothyroid going on over here. I take a shower or bath, hot bath, and then afterwards I take my lemongrass, put it on my fingers, and I put it on my skin. Bad idea. Because I took a hot bath, so I opened up all of my pores.
That's
and
right.
Lemongrass is hot and spicy, so hot and spicy, and I was like, my throat is on fire. It was so crazy. My husband comes running upstairs. He's like, what's going on? I was like, I lemongrassed my throat. It's on fire. And he's like, do you want me to get some coconut oil? And I said, yes. And he like ran downstairs and got me the coconut oil. And I was like, sweet relief. So let this be a lesson to all y'alls out there. When you're playing with your oils, make sure you have coconut oil handy or an oxidant.
Warning. Don't say she didn't warn you.
Should I flip it over and start talking about some of the clearing?
Yes, please.
So, clearing and balancing. And what's interesting is because we talk about clearing and balancing and all the other ones, but with the third eye, we talk about opening.
Yes.
So, but I guess talking about getting rid of the debris and the pop crackle, that we're actually we are clearing. So,
yes.
And balancing between the two eyes. Right?
That's right.
Psychic hotline. Okay, chakras can be imbalanced by becoming blocked, underactive, or overly intense, overactive.
That's right.
When this happens, our being as a whole is imbalanced, often leading to illness and or emotional blocks and creating an unhealthy environment. The following charts can help you determine the well-being and balance of your chakras. So we have the third eye, and if the third eye is underactive, it is going to be an inability to plan or set goals. Check. Narrow-minded, denial, poor vision, memory. Check. Difficulty seeing the future. Check. Lack of imagination. I'm getting there. So it's amethyst, sugarlight,
yeah.
Okay, sugarlight. I like that.
Got it.
And then a moonstone. I got a cute little moonstone right here, I think. Tell me about this. Is this guy a little moonstone? He looks like a moon.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it so cute?
Beautiful.
I love that one. So then you would use amethyst, solite, and so that one you would use clary sage for that one. And then if it is overactive, you'll feel an obsessed with psychic vision, paranoid, hallucination, tendency to space out, difficulty concentrating, or nightmares. I didn't have any check marks on that guy. Not on that one. How about you?
No.
Great.
No. Sometimes I have difficulty concentrating, but that's just too much pot in my system.
Blame it on the weed. Yeah. Maybe that's my problem. Nah, I don't want to look at that. So then we have lavender would be the one to help with balancing that.
Yes.
And you can use your lapis for that one. They can also be underactive and overactive at the same time. So you might find that you have a couple things from either side of these things. And
Absolutely.
and that's okay. It's fine. It just means that we need to balance that shit out. And so how we're going to do that over here is what it would look like if you had a balanced third eye chakra, is that you have intuitive or slash psychic, optimistic perspective, imaginative, watchful, aware, good memory, wise, able to plan and carry out plans, sleep well, and recall dreams, and calm mind. Now, this feels like a lot of red flags for all my homies out there, me being one of them. Because I feel out of balance on a lot of those things. And I think it's just the current climate. I mean, what happens is, as a collective, we are all through my third eye, I believe we are all one. And so when one of us is in pain, or when a huge amount of our collective is in pain or suffering or having issues, even if I don't know the exact stories to him, I feel it, and it's like, that's why it's so important to do this inner work, is because we can't jump in the ditch. We can't jump in the ditch. We have to do the work on ourselves and find that optimism. If you're feeling pessimistic, check in that with that third eye. You know what I mean? Check in with that, balancing out that.
That's correct.
That sixth chakra. And then so some of the ways it may manifest in us physically is headaches, migraines, seizures, neurological disorders, personal disorders, scalp or hair issues, vision problems, or mental illness. I'm telling you, there is a lot of one imbalanced third chakra away from mental illness taking over. One imbalanced third chakra away. We all need to be like, I try not to be like, you have to do this or you need to do that. I don't like to do that because people get defensive and they don't want to do something because you're telling them they have to or they need to do something. So please,
don't do anything. Step into your intuition. Honor your intuition. Follow your intuition. Accept your intuition.
Smell an oil.
That's right.
I mean, one sniff at a time, one breath at a time, we will discover. We don't have to know everything right now. I think when we talk about this, it can be overwhelming and seem like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's just literally one breath at a time. Just breathe into what we're saying. Just by listening to us, you're getting the downloads. It's this fucking new thing we get in Ascension, is we all get downloads, and like we just have to hear each other talk. And it's like I read a whole book. You know what I mean? Like, if you really connect to people with your third eye, you can get the downloads and decide if it's something that you want to dig deeper into.
Exactly.
Do you have any burning desires? We bring on our guest.
Oh my God, I'm dying to bring on our guest.
Let's do it. Okay, so I'm super fun. We're all really excited, obviously.
Our master dream tender.
Our master dream tender. Yes, she is the master dream tender. Raquel, aka Rocky, she's been in London for a whole year, having the most incredible experiences and been living life to the fullest for all of us, so we don't have to.
But now she's back.
And she's gonna share. And here she is.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the flesh.
Thank you so much for having me, beautiful lady.
Yay. Thanks for being here, babe.
Thank you.
The day has come.
Much. I was with you when you bought that necklace.
Yeah.
We were at a gem show in Pasadena.
We were at the gem show in Pasadena, all of us. That's right. I bought this amethyst there too.
Oh.
It was an amethyst kind of journey that day.
It was an amethyst kind of journey. So interesting. We were all calling in that third eye energy.
I was too excited about seeing you girls, I couldn't buy anything. I was like, I can't concentrate on looking at stones. I just want to talk to my friends.
It's so lovely to be here. I've been enjoying the talk so much.
Is there anything about the talk that you resonated with? Anything that you want to chime into? And you're out, so maybe you want to reiterate some of the stuff that we said, or
yes.
Like, go ahead.
I did also want to mention that the fluoride that calcifies our pineal gland and many other parts of our body is also in toothpaste most of the time. And that we're putting directly into our mouths every single day, twice a day, hopefully twice a day.
Or not twice a day if you use non-fluoridated toothpaste.
Exactly.
Like on
fluoride
bar.
toothpaste.
Yeah,
Don't drink tap water. Please
filter your tap water.
But also don't drink bottled water. What do I do?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you guys, bottled water is fucked. Like fucked. Like we fucked up our planet so fucking hardcore with the bottles. We are out of hand. We need to knock that shit off. So we need to figure out a way to clean our fucking water so that we can drink. Hello, I'm very angry.
That's right. Well, you can start by filtering your own water.
We got something called a Berkey. We got something called a Berkey. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. You apparently can't get it in California, so you can ship it to your relatives in Arizona and then have them ship it to you. But it can help filter out your water. But then the fluoride filter is an issue. Raquel, what do you do for water?
I use a Brita filter.
Yeah, see, that's not filtering out there. It's not filtering out our fluoride. Literally, you know what? Who talks about this? Vanita. So next time, we'll have to have a
Chakras, third eye.
The third eye chakra talk is going to be good with Vanita and food for the chakras. That's next Wednesday, by the way.
So I wanted to touch base with you guys on is I loved that you called the third eye the command center. Specifically because in order to command, we need the power of will. So intention and intuition are one thing, but unless we have the energy of will behind it, it really just remains in the waiting room, essentially. And what that made me think of is when you look at the symbols of each chakra, there are two that look exactly the same. And that is the solar plexus and the third eye. They both have an upside down triangle like this. And so it's interesting because it reminds me of when people say that your gut is your second brain.
Yes.
Or is your brain. Well, your third eye and your solar, like with that, you can have all the intuition in the world, but if we don't have the will to act on that, then it kind of just stays there. So I thought that it was interesting that because it is a light, the element is light, and your solar plexus is your light center, quite literally, and how they're connected.
Yeah. I love
Hell
it.
yes.
So good.
And will is a very important tool in carrying out I think that your will is what carries your intuition into intention. Like that's the intention plus will. I mean, intuition plus will is intention.
I love it.
And that's like, you know what I like about that? It's like bringing the ego and the spirit together, because the will is in the conscious mind and the intuition is in the subconscious mind. So that will is the part where we have to decide that it's worth it for us on this earth plane to make that intention and to look into that future and to decide to open it up.
It's a very dualistic chakra, so it takes two energies, like Raquel said, intuition and will creates intention. So it's a dualistic chakra, and it deals with both of those energies and the yes and the no's, for it to be able to actually fully, be put into effect and be put into action, like Raquel said. So yeah. I also believe it's our last female or female-oriented chakra. Am I correct? And it's a third female-oriented chakra. So I think in some sense it would be like the crown of the chakras. But we already had two. We had the maiden. We had the maiden, which is the sacral. We had the mother, which is the heart, and now we have the crown, which is the intuitive third eye chakra. So a lot of crony looking women like to be called witches, or like you're like, oh yeah, she looks like a witch, or she looks like a sage, or she looks like a psychic, because they're approaching that croning phase. But that's one way I like to look at it. I don't even know if it's that's correlated or if it's even true, but
Well, the crone is also symbolic of winter. And so it's not even just women that are, you know, older. I think it's just the period in the cycle where we do go into the dark. And that is why it's also the chakra that's associated with dreaming, because it is the moment where we go into the deep slumber to kind of like go within and dream so that we can come back out renewed for spring.
I love that. I love that.
So Raquel is like, dreams are like how I speak on oils is how dreams are for Raquel. She's like, I got a dream for that. But I love it. I love how you bring in that state, because I think a lot of us have trouble sleeping. I don't, but I know a lot of people.
Or remembering our dreams.
Yes, and that I feel like I consciously choose not to do that, to remember my dreams. It's weird. I don't know why. I've been getting better since we've been friends, but and we talked about it at the first witch camp, is because like all have dreams of fire. Like I'll close, like my scariest dreams are of fire, and then I turned those off. But you told me, you're like, you need to go into the fire, and go into those dreams. And so I'm open. I'm definitely open to it. It makes a lot more sense now than it ever did. But
absolutely, there are so many messages being sent to us through our dreams, and I feel like that's another way. Like, I mean, it's not just about the messages that are being sent to us through our dreams. It's about bringing those dreams into reality, into this realm. Maybe some of us don't dream in our sleeping state, but a lot of us have dreams in our waking state, of things that we want to do and how we would like the world to be, and how we would like the universe to be. And I think that's also a dream form.
Yeah,
I will say this: everyone dreams.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Not everybody has the ability to remember, though.
Every single that is one thing that connects us as a species, and actually as a living being. Animals dream. Plants. The dream is the thread that is woven into every single living being.
Yes.
And whether or not we remember it is whether or not we are working with our third eye chakra.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what it's in here. Memory is like, boom. I told you.
And
a check mark.
Why the solar plexus, and why I brought up that the will is so important, because oftentimes all it takes to really be in a relationship with your dreams and is the will, is to quite literally place importance and want to do it. Like, your will is so powerful. Like when anybody really chooses to do something, or chooses to want something, or desire something, all your energy goes towards making that happen. And most often than not, it does happen. So I think putting a kind of importance on dreaming, and creating ritual around dreaming. And it doesn't have to be like this whole summoning of the dream worlds and realms. Like, it can be as easy as having your lavender every night and literally putting on a little drop and having the intention to remember a dream. And then the next morning, I would bet money on the fact that you had some kind of experience that brings you closer to that, because all it is intention. That's the most powerful thing. You don't need the crystals. You don't need any of it, as long as you have intention.
Right.
And intention tools, intuition.
Absolutely. I love that. I love what you said, Raquel. Going to bed with, I mean, you obviously go to bed and you're like, oh my God, I had a rough day. I wish I could have done this better. I wish I could have said that. I wish I could have like finished this and blah, 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 blah. Quiet the chatter. And then right before you actually quiet the mind and you actually close your eyes, also, saying that to yourself, having the intention that you want to remember your dreams, saying it to yourself, show me my dreams, help me remember my dreams. I love that.
Yeah, I've been getting better at doing that for sure. I always do my gratitude, like all the things I'm grateful for, and I'll usually fall asleep like that. But I've also noticed that on the times that I'll write down, I will remember my dreams. 3 times on a piece of paper before I go to bed. I oftentimes will remember them. I'm sure that's something I learned from Raquel's dream retreat workshop I went to, which was fantastic, so incredible. It was wonderful, and it's really cool to learn about how to even get into the dreams, and then what you do with them once you have them, once you start connecting with them. How would you actually recommend?
I mean, intention is number one. It really is. Like placing value, like knowing that you're actually going to get something from. A lot of people ask, like, well, what's the point of remembering a dream? It's just me working through my day while I'm asleep. But in reality, they're actually serving you, and not just to like go through or file away the day, but to actually help you process what you may have gone through that day. So the dreams speak to us in a language that only we understand, and it is the emotional language. It's not the out here kind of like physical realm language. It's our inner worlds, our inner planes. And so it communicates to us on how we're doing on that inner plane. And most people, I mean, or probably everybody, there's a lot that is undealt with, untalked about, unseen. You know, a lot of us put on a brave face and to go out into the world, and there's a lot that is unseen. And we often don't have a ritual to support us in taking the time to actually have the experience to go into those unseen places. And that's where the third eye comes in, is because it is not the eye that you see the physical world through. It's the eye that you see your inner world through. That's right. So I say, in order to see, close your eyes.
Right. Yeah.
The word has spoken.
But I will say one more thing as far as a practical tool that can help with just better sleeping in general. Like if you would like to not wake up and toss and turn in the middle of the night, or, you know, just to have a nice restful sleep. There's a couple things that you can do. One, definitely use the lavender oil. Not only is it going to calm your body down, but also just having something that you do every single night that is ritualistic in form informs your body that you are now preparing for sleep. And so it literally will start like packing up to like close down shop, essentially, because the intention of that is very powerful.
Yeah.
And second, you spoke about light being the element of this chakra, and light is the telephone call essentially to your pineal gland to communicate whether it's daytime or nighttime. Before we had electricity and, you know, and light sources, when the sun went down, it was night, and your pineal gland understood that now it's night and now we're going to sleep. So light is actually what activates the pineal gland to either secrete the chemicals in your body to either wake you up, or when there is an absence of light, it's communicating to secrete melatonin, which is what helps you go to sleep. So when we're on our phones, or if we're watching TV in bed, that light source is communicating to your pineal gland that it's daytime, essentially. And so a lot of times we have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep, because by the time we passed out of tiredness, our body didn't actually secrete the right amount of melatonin for a restful sleep.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, because I have been having conversations with certain friends of mine who have told me, like, I happen to wake up at a certain time every day, or I'm having this continuous restless sleep throughout the week where I happen to wake up. And a friend of mine, I'm not going to say the name, but she was just telling me recently how she can't go to bed too early, because if she goes to bed too early, then eventually she's on her phone, and eventually she'll wake up at a certain amount of time, and then she has trouble going back to sleep. I don't have much trouble with sleep. I sleep very, very soundly and very, very clean. For me, the issue is creating that intention before I go to bed. It's not something that I do what Jennifer Biondo does. I wake up in the mornings and I have my moment of gratitude and my meditation. And I do tend to meditate at night as well. But I dream a lot of the time, and I have very, very good dreams, and I tend to remember them very well. But I don't always remember my dreams. And I would like to have put the intention to every single day remember my dreams. And I'm pretty sure there will be a pattern that I will be able to see once I start remembering every single day. Because there's messages, like all the questions that we have in our waking life, most of the answers will be in our dream state. That's where, spirit, there's not so much chatter in our minds. So like Raquel's saying, that's when spirit really likes to communicate through emotions and feelings. So for me, it's just really setting the intention at night to remember my dreams.
Another practical tool is daydreaming.
Oh, I love daydreaming.
Yeah, another thing that is, third eye predominant is awareness. And daydreaming offers a lot of awareness. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a photographer, and I'm a street photographer specifically. And that was like the boot camp of the third eye opening and lucidity for me, because I was aware of my surroundings 24/7. Every time I was on the street, I was very aware of every single thing that was going on around me, and not just visually, but using all my senses, because, especially as a woman on the street alone most of the time, I have to be very aware of, like, through all my spidey senses, like witchy senses, sight, hearing, smell, like I use everything. And I've led in a lot of circles a intuition sharpening meditation, which is connecting to all 5 of your senses. They're literally little receptors that are communicating to your brain what is going on around you, which is why I love the essential oils tools, because smell holds memory in the same way that a visual holds a memory or a taste. And all of these senses can add to your awareness and to your lucidity. Like how you feel, like you could be lucid dreaming right now.
Exactly. Right. Who's to say this isn't the sleep state that we should be in? Who's to say when we go to bed we're not actually awake?
Well, you can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would say daydreaming, take a walk and pretend that you just woke up in a dream, that you just became lucid, and take your time and really walk around and open up that third eye and really see what's around you. Like if you see a beautiful flower when you're walking, like stop and really look at it. Look at it so profoundly that you see the little pores inside of those leaves. Smell it. Like take your time to really take in its scent. Listen to it, like rub up against it, like really take your time to be in tune with all of your senses, because all those senses are going boop. And then from here, they disperse into different emotions and different memories and different parts of the body. So that command center that you guys keep talking about right here, your senses are basically like little soldiers that are going in there and reporting every single moment of every single day. And so to be more connected to your dreams is to really observe the world around you as if you were in a dream. And that way, when you're actually in the dream, you have that practice. And it's like a muscle. You just have to strengthen that awareness.
Yeah.
Wow. So rad. Yeah.
Yay.
What's your plan, Raquel?
Too beautiful.
What are you doing next? What's happening next? You just got back from London, and I'm just so excited that you're here. Not super far away. You came in a very awkward time. You did. I mean, exactly. It's divine timing on all levels. That's
divine timing.
Yeah, divine timing on all levels. Exactly. Yes. But
can I show you guys a mudra for your third eye?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so I was working on a really good one. So you would put your pinky and your ring finger down, and you have them touch. And you're going to do the exact same thing to your ring finger and your index finger as well. The only finger that's going to be up is going to be your middle finger. And now with this hand, you're going to create a little heart shape, so to speak, right here. It should be a little uncomfortable. Yeah. So if you ever feel like you need to tap into that third eye chakra, you don't have your oils and you can't remember them, the mantras, this is a great exercise. You're tapping into powerful energy here.
Very powerful. It looks so pretty. It really looks pretty. I love it.
It's really beautiful. This is one of my favorite third eye mudras here. And then as far as yoga poses, child's pose is great for your third eye. Anything that has a bowing movement, when you are bowing and you're
Yeah.
around with your forehead, with your third eye, it's something that we do in Kundalini yoga a lot. Downward facing dog, pyramid pose. If anybody's ever heard of the pyramid pose, that's really, really good for your third eye chakra. And the
What does
knees
it look like?
pose.
What does the
Which
pyramid pose look like? The pyramid pose. What does it look like?
I'm gonna give you guys some homework. You're gonna have to go look it up. It's
Okay,
you,
okay.
you have your legs slightly spread apart and your arms are behind you and you are bending down.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You've seen it before, right?
Yeah. It's good. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's the Parsvotasana yoga pose. I think that's what it's called. I call it the pyramid pose. It's so much easier. So that was really good. And the knees to your chest pose when you were lying down. We do it a lot in Yoga Galactica as well. When we're almost done with our session, where we put our knees up to our chest. That is a great pose for your third eye chakra as well. So it's easy to do before you go to bed, when you're lying in bed, if you don't want to get too complicated. Set the intention to remember your dreams. Get your oils ready.
Also, sun gazing.
Yes. Thank you for reminding us. Thank you. Moon gazing and sun gazing. Absolutely amazing.
I will say with sun gazing though, don't directly use your muggle eyes to eye gaze.
Yes.
Close your eyeball, your muggle eyes, and point your head towards the sun and envision your third eye that is gazing at the sun.
You're intuitive.
Modern movement does not condone blinding.
Exactly. Oh, that's what I was doing when I saw that indigo. That's what I was doing in meditation. When the indigo popped in, like I'd never seen it before. It was literally closed eyes in the sun, was just coming right in. It was really magical. Really magical. For real.
Ladies.
Yes.
I am so full of love and so full of joy to have you both on the same screen.
I know. Now I can't wait till we see each other in the same location. Maybe we should meet at a park.
Yes.
It could be fun. Do a little witchy meeting in a park. I've got lots of favorite trees. I've met a lot of new trees during this quarantine. I've climbed a lot of trees. So awesome. It's just really great. Also, I recently went to camping in Ojai. I don't know if you guys know about this, but I had wanted to, and I think I talked about this last time. I really wanted to like sleep next to a creek or a river so that I could be in flow, because I feel like, I'm just trying to figure everything out right now with the way the climate is, and trying to figure out like what's my next move. And I was like, I need to just relax and like go with the flow and be next to the water and the flow of the creek. And so we got this campsite, and it was right on this tree that we could climb. It was wonderful. And at 2:00 in the morning, I hear somebody like take our ice chest and like start going through our ice chest. And I look out the window and there's this black bear like, "Y'all, bitch, I heard it was dinner time." It was like, and then I wake up my husband and I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's a bear in our ice chest." And he's like, "Whoa." And he gets out his like big flashlight and he's flashing, and the bear like looks up and he's like, "Oh, you he could care less. And he's like, "I got the bacon." And anyway, that's what happened. My men eat the meat. The bear likes the meat and he likes the spinach. So we both lost out. He took our spinach bag and our salad bag. And so my husband he goes, "You taking video?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking video." And then he throws like a rock in his direction, and it like it jumps up the tree and it like looks around. And like in the morning there was like scratch marks on the tree. And he looks around, and then he's like realizes that nothing bad's happening. So he comes back down and starts getting back, and he's like eating my vegan butter. And then we saw my little round speaker. I have like one of these little round speakers, and I chucked it out towards him, and I was like, "What do I do?" And I put on my music, and it's like playing like massage meditation music, and my husband's like, "No." He's like, "No, you have to put on something else." And then trying to think of who he had me put, like some heavy metal thing.
Something scary.
Yeah, and it was like and the bear's like, "Oh shit." And then I like turned it off because I didn't want to try and wake up all the campers. And so, but then he went back once he realized it only played for a second. And we played it 3 times and then he ran out of there. And then the neighbor's like, "Can you guys please keep it down? We're trying to sleep." And we're like, "There's a bear." It was really cool. And then I looked up bear medicine and it was all over the chart. So if you guys know anything about bear medicine, I would really love to know what from the perspective of my witches, what it might mean if you know offhand.
Bear medicine. We have a witch at work. Do you know anything about bear medicine, Raquel?
Well, the first thing that came to mind is they're, one of our hibernating animals. And so they're able to go into long, deep slumbers for a very long time. So just bear for dream medicine is actually something that intuitively comes up for me. I know that there's many other teachings that bear is offering. But for me, that's what bear teaches me, is to be comfortable being in long states of slumber to kind of, there it is. Read it out.
All right. So the strength of the bear medicine is the power of introspection. It lies in the west of the great medicine wheel of life. Bear seeks honey, or the sweetness of truth, within the hollow of an old tree. In the winter, when the ice queen reigns and the face of death is upon earth, bear enters the womb cave to hibernate, to digest the year's experience. It is said that our goals reside in the West also. To accomplish the goals and the dreams that we carry, the art of introspection is necessary. I think that rhymed.
Wow. Put the needle on the
love that. I love it. To become like a bear and enter the safety of the womb cave, we must attune ourselves to the energies of the eternal mother and receive nourishment from the placenta of the great void. The great void is a place where all solutions and answers live in harmony with the questions that fill our realities. If we choose to believe that there are many questions to life, we must also believe that the answers to these questions reside within us. Each and every being has the capacity to quiet the mind and to the silence and know. I love that.
That bear is like, mic drop. Isn't that what we're talking about here?
The bear's like, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, I had to go to the grocery store the next day. Yeah. It was so great.
Especially for the times that we all find ourselves in a sort of hibernation. Learning how to mother ourselves and learning what it is that we need in order to feel nourished and ready to come back out in spring, like we were mentioning before.
I love it. I think that the world was forced into a hibernation in 2020.
I'd like to see it as an invitation.
I love it.
I would like to see this as an invitation to be in this hibernation and the pause that we are able to really see clearly what it is that we need, first of all, for ourselves. Like, I saw so many people gravitate towards painting and planting. Like, yes. First and foremost, we all went to the earth and to create.
Everyone wants to garden and everyone wants to paint.
I manage a tree every day.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
And part of seeing that truth for ourselves is also seeing the truth as for the bigger whole. And I think that that's exactly something that we're seeing the truth of a lot of things, and we are learning to listen to ourselves and what it is that we need, but also what it is that we need as a collective. And I think that a lot of that is to just be seen. The truth needs to be seen, and we need to be willing to see that truth, and even no matter how ugly it is, because if not, then we're just living in an illusion.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right. And I think that's something that you expressed so well and beautiful, Raquel. And when you're out there at the protests and riots and things like that, and you're actually like you're up in it, and you're taking the pictures of, the faces of passion that people have for not standing for the things that they have now seen, and it's really beautiful. And I love the way that you capture so many people's heart and soul. You really see it in their eyes of the photos that you take. And I really appreciate the work that you're doing out there in the world. It's really
very inspiring.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Seriously,
thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
We are doing a great job. Yeah. It's good. One thing that I want to bring up to that I think that's coming out, I think when we were talking about like ethically getting our crystals and things, I think one of the things that we're waking up to is where everything comes from, and like how we're getting things into our homes. I think we've all really we went through some times where everything was taken away from us that we got used to having all the time because everything shut down basically, and really had to like think about what we really wanted and what we really needed and what was really important. And now actually taking it a step further and having the awareness of where like things come from and how do they end up at our house, and not being like just collecting things and gathering more and more things and stuff, just being really intentional with our dreams, but really intentional with everything, like everything we're eating, being really intentional about how we're the things that we're taking, the media that we're taking in, the information that we're taking in, the food that we're taking in, the water we're taking in. It's all about intention. And I know that I always bring everything back to the oils, but I do really want to for a moment really highlight doTERRA and the things that they're doing for our world as a collective. Like they're definitely, one of the things a lot of us are like kicking and screaming and frustrated about is that we don't have leaders that we feel we can look up to, or like we're all finding our individual leaders, which is brilliant, wonderful. But it's nice to have leaders out there in the world that are doing things in a way that where our integrity and feel in
Yes.
alignment and are taking into all these things into consideration and doing the hard work to like pursue what is pure. So like with doTERRA, all of the essential oils come from the indigenous region that the plant naturally grows. So you don't actually have to add anything to the soil. It grows naturally there, and they test every single batch of oils to make sure it's not adulterated. There's no synthetics added. If we start using this as actual medicine, I mean, these essential oils are medical grade medicine. If we actually use them on medicine, it penetrates our cells in 30 seconds. It is in our bloodstream. These plants are in our bloodstream, and we are working with the plants. The plants are working with us in 30 seconds. And we want to make sure that they're pure and there's no synthetics added and no adulterations. But then also, they're very conscious about how they take from the land and make sure from where they take they're replanting, and all the people that are tending to the land and the people that have tended to the lands for thousands of years, this land that has been generation to generation, and they want these people to thrive. And the way that the essential oil business was working before they came into the market was that the people were just raping from the land, taking stuff and then offering the people that tended to the land pennies. They couldn't even afford to feed their children, and now they can because of companies like doTERRA. And then they take their earnings and they look out into the world and into these communities of farmers and say, how can we make it better for you? They've built schools and hospitals. They've spent that millions of dollars helping Operation Underground Railroad bring light to all the sex trafficking that's going on. I didn't even know about how horrible the sex trafficking was until 3 years ago when I went to the doTERRA convention, and they were talking about how over 250,000 people were being sex trafficked in the United States a year. 250,000 people in the United States a year. And it has grown exponentially because during this pandemic, people are like, little kids are in front of their screens, and so are the pedophiles. And so it's this is one of those darkest things being brought to light that is like helping to be combated by these amazing leaders that doTERRA is. And I'm just so grateful to be able to be in alignment and to have found it and to be able to know and to be able to educate my friends and the people I love about the plant medicine that they're using, about the land that it came from, the people that it came from, and to like really be mindful when you're using this medicine and when you're healing yourself and your body. You deserve the best. Like you deserve to take the best possible care. We all do. We all deserve the best. And when we really like, Raquel, you were saying is like make that choice and have that will, and we decide that we're gonna take care of ourselves the best and love ourselves the most. Like one of these things quarantine has taught me is that I am my own best friend. I love myself so much. I am so grateful to have myself to go on this journey with and to see what I see and experience people like you in my life, and to be able to have like built this community and have this awareness. And it all came around and started to take this turn when I found these oils. So I am so grateful, and I'm so happy that I have this platform to share the oils with and to talk about chakras and waking up together. Let's just wake up together and dream together and all the things.
I love that. Yes. Let's wake up together.
Yes.
Let's.
And dream together.
And dream together.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an honor to dream with you both.
Yay.
Likewise, my witch. Likewise.
Yes. I think that we could turn in the witch potion, turn in the potions, the spells, all the spells. Their downloads have been dropped.
Yes, they have.
Does anybody have any burning desires before we release this show for the night?
I will say that if anybody is interested in learning a little bit more about witch ethics and some of the ethics that take place in witchcraft, as far as like where are we sourcing our tools, how are we sourcing our tools, how are we even connecting to our own ancestral lineage to see if there's tools that are not even tapped in yet. We do have a witch ethics panel that happened during virtual witch camp this year. And it is on modernwitchmovement.com and or our YouTube page, Modern Witch Network. We have a beautiful lineup.
Good.
Yeah, it was an amazing lineup of incredible people that spoke very eloquently to the ethics in witchcraft.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. Because I think that a lot of people are actually, to speak on that, a lot of people are starting to wake up and be like, oh, maybe what is this witch thing? You know, and they're starting to like dip their toe and be like, what's this witch thing? And there's a lot of like, you know, for years it's been programmed into our subconscious mind with cartoons and shows and so many things, a lot of like negative ideas. And I love that we have that panel because it can really actually bring to light and really show people what it really is about. And I think a lot of people will discover that they too are witches.
Yeah, and I think it opens people's eyes into the idea of what it means to be a witch. And I think that a lot of people think that we're just like sitting around just doing spells and burning stuff and you know, pouring glasses of blood into a chalice, and it really isn't, you know.
We are, and there is more to it.
People have the idea that that's what we're doing.
And it's our own blood. It's our own blood. It came from our body.
It's our own personal blood. First of all, we're not hurting anybody.
Right. That's right.
But I feel like people have this misconception of what it's like to be a witch, or what it's like to be a person in power or in their power, and it goes beyond, you know, the magical entails of it. You know, it's just burning an incense and doing things with intention, like Raquel was saying, doing everything that you do with freaking intention. Put intention into it. Say it out loud. Say your affirmations. Say them to yourself. Just put intention. If you're gonna take a shower, put intention into that. If you're gonna make yourself a meal, put intention into it. And I think that that's the most powerful tool that we have.
So for all your witch curiosities, go to modernwitchmovement.com. There are several pages and even a rabbit hole that you can choose to go down if you wish.
Absolutely. You can find me on there too if you want to have any essential oil chats and want to dig deeper into essential oils as plant medicine.
I know a lot of my witches out there have mentioned that you want to reach out to Jennifer Biondo because you are curious about oils. So now's the time, my witches. Now's the time.
We do have a services page on the Modern Witch Movement in which you can find feng shui tips and tricks from Delia Ivette. And you can also reach out to her on her personal page. Jenny Biondo also has a profile page, and you can reach out to her for all your smells needs. And if you would like to tap into your dreams, I also have a page on there, and I'm happy to talk to you about any dreaming.
We all just want to talk to you. So
Absolutely.
Follow your curiosity and follow your intuition.
Follow your intuition. Honor your intuition.
I will see you in the dream.
Wow. All right. I love you, girls. I'm going to ring us out.
It has been an honor tonight. It has been a true honor. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for everyone who's watching.
ModernWitchMovement.com.